Hello, welcome to today's video diary for Finding My Way with Pi, Purpose, Intention, and Emotion. I am Pi. And today I'm going to examine thoughts and feelings a little bit about something that's just crazy polarizing in our country right now. And it's a little scary to do that. And I'll be honest, I've kind of avoided this topic I guess out of a little bit of fear because it does not feel like a psychologically safe environment in our nation for either side, no matter what your political views are, to speak up about those views. For my part, that's what I want to examine, having the thoughts and the feelings about. Because I personally feel like we're getting further and further away from being able to sit down and see each other as human beings and have meaningful conversations without getting defensive about who a candidate is. It's almost like there's this identity association with the candidates themselves versus what's important to us individually. At least that's what it feels like, where the polarization is coming from, partially. I'll just say I don't know everything. And I truly believe that we all do the best we can from where we are. And having been misguided before, having believed certain things before only to learn they're untrue, I just believe that it's part of the human journey sometimes that we can change our minds. That is part of our nature. We can learn and grow and we can change our minds. I also believe it's part of human nature to love. I think it's a natural state and a natural yearning for humans. I think it's the legacy that we want to leave behind. I think it's what we yearn to experience in our lives, to feel loved and safe and secure. And if you feel like that is threatened, then you're going to do what you can to protect that. So just coming from a place of being a human being, I just wanted to think about what it feels like that, you know, it's so polarized that it doesn't feel psychologically safe for me. And I know this has been building for years in the United States, in the political environment and the presidential nominees and etc. I mean, I'll be honest, I turn off social media. I don't watch the news. It feels like an echo chamber of intensifying anxieties and all kinds of things. And it's so much noise that it feels like it takes away from, let me say it another way. It feels like it turns it into a frenzy and takes away our, I don't know, I feel awkward, like I'm awkwardly bumbling through saying this because it is hard to say. It's hard to put words to. I think it's easy to get sucked into the frenzy and lose our ability to see the humanity in each other. Does that make sense what I'm saying? There's like this shock factor in what people say about each other or the other candidates or all of that. I'm just going to be the first to tell you that it is confusing. Maybe not the first to tell you. Let me just say this out of my face. I am not talking well today. Again, another 4 a.m. morning for me, so it's up very early with a puppy. Tired. So bear with me. Who the heck has time to fact check everything? it feels like a frenzy because in our society, we are moving so fast that we're exhausted, we're working our tails off. Many of us don't quite have enough means to get by, or you're living paycheck to paycheck, and you're in a threat state in those when it's like that. You don't have recovery from stress, you can't rest, you're exhausted. There's one thing after another. You're worried about money. And then, depending on who you are, you could be worried about your safety. You could be worried about your children's safety. You could be any number of things, but all frenzy and fear driven. And when we're in that state of mind, it is hard to learn and to listen and to see each other as humans and to not, take offense or get defensive in arguing certain things. And I just would love to bring back the art of meaningful conversations. I'm not saying all news or social media is bad. Yes, I do look at the news and social media, but I have had to severely limit myself, particularly during the times of the presidential election, because it's so riled up that it is bad for my well-being. So I try to look at it just enough to get information, but it's confusing. There's so much misinformation going around that, and who has time to fact check everything, that it's just it's confusing for everyone. And also, I think many of us feel like short-tempered about it, and that doesn't help an already polarized situation. This is just me processing, okay, and acknowledging that this is happening, and then without a psychologically safe environment, even to just voice confusion or hurt or this is what's important to me, and it's scary to do that for fear of getting attacked. That's a scary place to be and a slippery slope, it feels like. So I'm going to think about this in another way, because one of the things that meditation has helped me with over this last year since I've started, I guess it's been a little more near 14 months or so, since I've started meditating just 5 minutes a day at night, one of the things it's helped me do is kind of observe how I feel. Finding my way with pi has helped me do this too. But it's also helped me differentiate mindfully between what I can control, what's truly within me, and what I can't control. And so I cannot control the frenzy that is existing in the world. All I can control is how I feel inside and to center myself. And through that lens, this is what I've been trying to focus on in this environment in the US that we have right now following the presidential election. I am simply focusing on how do I continue to maintain my center, to stay calm and peaceful inside myself, and to stay true to the things that are important to me. And as I've learned in my own journey over the last 11 months is that it's important to me to help others go on this healing journey of their own that we call discovering whole being. And what does that mean? It means fully accepting who you are and everything that's happened to you in your life. As human beings, we all have wounds, some from childhood, some from what we experience in our lives. There's not one human life that exists without some type of hurt. But we're not always taught how to deal with the hurt in a healthy way. And speaking from experience, we run from it, we avoid it, we bury it, we ignore it, we medicate it, we try to numb it. There's any number of ways that we deal with hurt, and as long as we don't truly acknowledge it, look at it, understand it, share it with other humans, with that connection and being vulnerable, then we can heal. We need the connection to heal. And then when we start healing, we become more calm and peaceful and loving and accepting inside of ourselves. And the kicker here is going through that process is the greatest act of self-love that someone can do. And self-love is a hard thing to do for many of us. At least I didn't really feel like I deserved it. And our society puts this stigma on it that's like, it's selfish. But it's not. Because the beautiful thing that happens when you give your effort and intention to healing and self-love is that you become, you become whole. You become more whole, and you become better able to operate from a centered state, meaning whatever's happening in the world doesn't have to pull you off as drastically as it used to. It doesn't have to send you into anxiety or depression or any of that. You can stay calmer, and then you can see the humanity in everyone, which invites a collective healing and helps all of us come together more. This I know from experience. This I know from my studies when in happiness studies, and again, happiness isn't the absence of difficult or painful emotions. It is being whole and the integration of them, being a whole human. And if we as a species could do this individually, which would lead to collectively, because we are all interconnected, this is how I think we begin to heal together. There's always been hard things in the whole history of humanity. Our times are no exception. We will have our hard things in our times. We get the choice individually of how we will operate within that, within the time that we're given. What our choices will be for ourselves and how we will care for ourselves and for others. And that's just where I'm going to stay focused, because that's where I need to be. And it's the only way I can cultivate and create for myself this feeling of psychological safety. I'm not really sure what else I can say about this, just that I see so many people around me feeling scared. I see so many people around me going, what is happening? And I don't have answers or reassurance for them. I don't even have them for myself. I think we can only go within to find the answers that we're seeking and that we need, and especially in difficult times. And to remember that whatever happens, we will always have the power to choose our attitude. And I'm not talking about toxic positivity, but I am talking about viewing things in such a way that we don't lose hope, that we stay true to our kindest, most loving selves, and that we see the humanity in each other. And then there's that word again, forgiveness. And I know that's a very difficult place to get to for many. I have walked that difficult path myself before as well. But when we get there, we give up the need to hurt. And that is where we will find peace. This is just what I'm thinking about today as I'm seeing what's happening in the world around me. And I hadn't touched on this topic because I don't know how to. I don't really feel like I'm qualified to talk about politics or, facts this or that or what's going on here or there. I don't know. It's too much. There's too much noise. I don't know how to sift through it. All I know is that I love my friends, family, neighbors, and community. And we all wear different colors, but we're all humans. And I do believe we're just trying to do the best we can from where we are with what we have. That is how life works. And sometimes tragic things happen and sometimes great things happen. It's just an ebb and a flow. And the only thing we can control is what's inside. So, tough things, tough topics. Thanks for being with me on this journey. I'm so glad that you're here. I hope this helps you too. And wishing you all love and peace. I'll see you tomorrow.